Hello, my name is Dwight Gillespie, and this is the Change Your Life channel. And what we do here is we try to give you practical advice on changing your life. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification, all that good stuff. Share it with your friends, leave comments, tell me when I'm playing, that's fine too. Whatever. And we're doing a series right now. We're doing the four things. It's the four things that you can do to ensure a mediocre life. If you really want to make sure that you are not going to be successful in any particular endeavor and that you're going to lead that vanilla, bland life, life with no salt, as I like to call it, or whatever, these are four things that you can do. Now, we've already done be comfortable, right? Just be comfortable and don't go out of your comfort zone, right? We did that one. We did don't be accountable, which is one of my favorites. It's not my fault, right? It's not my decision making. This today is we're going to do be a victim. Be a victim. And Walter and I were just talking about it between takes because, we do these back to back pretty much, even though we release them a week apart or whatever. So we were talking about this and victimhood. Victimhood is one of my favorite things. And I used to play into victimhood quite a bit, right? Here I am, a nice cis white male, as they call me, right? I had one guy, well, you're a cis white male. I said, are you assuming my sexual preference? Are you? How do you know? Have you ever actually seen me have sex with a woman or a man for that matter? Be into bestiality. You don't know. Hey, no judgments. Anyway, yeah. Ooh. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I got very confused as a kid. Yeah. Anyway, victimhood. And I was a victim on a lot of different levels, especially as a kid. My sister once called me a drama queen. I don't know if she meant anything by that. Sexual. Are you? She's a very woke person, right? And are you saying something so sexual, right? Calling me a queen? Yeah. She backed off quickly because that's what woke people do, right? They get scared to death. Oh my God, I identified him. Anyway, I always like that too. Now, and I get to this in Hollywood, like they say, you have to be gay to play a gay person, but you're not supposed to out people. So what do you have to do? You have to suck Harvey Weinstein's. I thought we got past that. Well, okay, I got to Harvey to prove I'm gay. Like, how exactly that? We may want to beep some of those things, right? Because Alphonse is my conscience. He's my Jiminy Cricket, right? This is be a victim, and that is the leading cause of a cancerous society right now is victimhood. And I've said it before, right? If you could be a Black, Asian, Jewish, trans midget, little person, who has is autistic, and you hit the jackpot, the mother load of victimhood, right? And not that these things are laughable or anything like that, but we wear our victim status on our sleeve. It used to be like people rose above these things, like they worked hard, and even though you had these things against you, you could still succeed, right? But now we're a victim, and I hear cis white men talk about victimhood, and I'm like, really? Are you kidding me? Like, come on, man, let's be serious, because I'm not an idiot. I know how things work. And in victimhood, the funny thing about victimhood is there's usually truth in it. There's some truth to it, like any good tale, right? Like any good bullshit line, right? Any good lie has an air of truth to it, So when you say, well, I have this against me, and one of the things that, like, what made me a victim, I grew up in a house that was not a fun place to be a kid. I'm a victim. And I had professional therapists most of my life tell me, oh, that's so hard. It's very traumatic. You need therapy, right? And you have to keep reliving this for the rest of your life, Dwight, in order to get over it. But I don't know, there's some logic in there somewhere, like, right? Anyway. So I had that. My father committed suicide when I was 18. So there's that, I went to a failed marriage. I had, married another woman, had this beautiful child, and he was killed in a car accident. My wife was pregnant with my daughter. We lost the baby 6 weeks later. So all of these things had happened, and they all made me a victim. They all made me, poor me. Oh, God. And I reveled in it all my life. One thing I'll agree with my sister, I was a drama queen. It was something I couldn't, it was always one thing or another, and some of it real and most of it imagined. Um, and I played that role very well, but I learned that role. It was a role that I had definitely learned, and not to rationalize it, but I had to unlearn it. I had to understand that if I was to do anything about this, that I couldn't be a victim anymore. But I got to tell you something: if you don't want to be successful, if you don't want to do anything, definitely be a victim. I was on the phone today with a friend. He's a good friend. And for him, it's well, you don't understand. We got to talking about places, and he asked me because I'm going to Southern California. Like, yeah, I know. Oh yeah, yeah. I know the crime, but everything's on fire or whatever. But it's wherever I want to go is beautiful. I love Encinitas. I love it. I've talked about it before. It's where my head and my heart are. This is I just like it there. It's just what I like. And yeah, I live in New York City. So when they say, "Oh, it's very expensive there," I'm like, yeah, okay. I pay $10,000 a year in property taxes to live in a house that is on a 35 by 75 plot of land, and I pay 10 grand a year. And, anyway, so I want to go there. And well, why well, I said, well, Utah was nice, but Utah, there's no black people in Utah. And I'm like, dude, how did this become, because that's the whole identity. This is, you don't understand. You don't understand because you're not this or you're not that, or I am this or I am that. And I'm not saying that these things can't be impediments at certain times and in certain places, right? That it isn't an impediment to be a woman in a man's world in a particular given field of endeavor, right? Not everywhere, because I don't buy that either. I don't buy that everywhere you go, this is going to be a problem. It's not true. It's just not true. And why do I say that? What is my evidence of this? What proof do I have that it's not true? That is because there are very successful black people in every endeavor. There are successful black lawyers, black engineers, black people in sports, black people in journalism, black people everywhere, business, everything, right? So I know that being black, while it may hold you back in certain areas with certain people, that you can still be successful. And I'm not saying you don't have to work hard. Being gay, being trans, being all of these things, right? This is in the Biden administration. There's a trans woman who's in charge of some big thing. I don't even know what she does, to be honest with you. I don't really pay attention to politics. And that was another conversation that we got into. You want to be a victim? Watch television. Watch the news. You want to really feel crappy about yourself and be a victim and really hold yourself back? Watch the news every minute you can. Keep it on CNN or Fox. It doesn't really matter. Whatever your preference is, right? Whatever your taste. You're conservative, watch Fox so that you can hate everybody on the left and know how much the world sucks. You're on the left. You watch CNN. You can hate Fox and know how right you are and how the whole world is against you and everything sucks. Because they're in the business of making you a victim. They're in the business of making you a professional victim and knowing that the other side is against you, everything's against you, everybody hates you. If you want to watch Fox, you'll learn how horrible the left is and that nobody wants to work and they're letting illegals overrun the country and they hate America and they want to burn the flag and they want to, have sex with your children and all this other shit. And if you're on the left and you know that on the right, they hate all black people, they hate old people and puppies and it's just horrible, and there's no way to combat this because you're fighting a paper tiger, you're fighting a straw man, because it's in the ether, as Ben Shapiro would say, right? You're fighting this thing that doesn't really exist. Because how do you fight that? How do you fight people who just hate you because you're the color of your skin? How do you fight people who want America overrun with illegals and it's this big thing that's against you and out to get you, no matter what it is. Again, right, left, center. I don't care where you are. The other side is horrible. The other side sucks. They're all out to get you, and there's really nothing you can do except vote for these idiots who we've been voting for forever. There's a funny thing. I read this thing. It says that like Congress, like 80% of the people believe that Congress sucks, right? Like the people in Congress suck. yet the retention rate is like 90%, you know? So like you got your person and that's the only good one in there. And we keep voting the same people in over and over and we keep complaining that they suck, you know? Like, anyway. And that's the cycle of victimhood too. And that's exactly what it does. It tells us that no matter what we do, no matter what we go, oh, it's always going to be like this. I'm at the mercy. Oh, I can't do anything. I can't. And you wonder how the hell anybody is ever successful. I had another friend tell me, you don't understand, you know, as a black woman, I got Oprah Winfrey, one of the wealthiest people in the world, overcame a lot of obstacles. I talked to her about her in the last video, so I won't even go over it again. But if there's somebody who has the same obstacles you have or what you perceive to be obstacles, and they become successful, there's no reason you can't, except for one. And this is always what it comes down to, is hard work and dedication. Yeah, you got to work hard. See, people want everything for nothing. You know, I lost a lot of weight. It's almost 100 pounds now, right? I told you that today. I weighed in at 183 and a half pounds. When I started this venture, I was 280.2. So it's almost 100 pounds that I've lost. But I have a cabinet over here, and I kept these things, right? Because I have a cabinet filled with miracle pills. And, oh, it's great, you know? It's just, you know, because I'm not fat because I eat 3 entrees from the local Italian store. No, it's glandular. You know, I'm stressed because my kids died 10 years ago. I have these pills, and all of them are miracle cures. Take this pill at night, and you'll lose 60 pounds without having to exercise, without having to eat differently. You know, this is it. This is, you know, we talk about victimhood and now like the fat shaming and stuff like that, because I love that stuff. I am a fat shamer. Don't be fat. Don't be fat. You're killing yourself. I'm a fat shamer like I'm a heroin shamer, like I'm an alcoholic shamer. Don't do that to yourself. You're killing yourself. If you kill yourself with alcohol, heroin, or food, it's all the same thing to me. You're killing yourself. Stop it. Stop it. It's not beautiful at any size. It's not. And it's not about looks either. This has nothing to do with looks because, yeah, you can be anorexic and thin as hell and you're still killing yourself. Food is fuel for your body. Treat your body well. That doesn't mean being anorexic. It doesn't mean being fat. It means eating properly. It means exercising. That's what it's about. This is mind, body, spirit. You want to live a better life, mind, body, spirit. This whole victimhood, oh, you're fat shaming. You're fat. Yeah. You're fat. Knock it off. Cut the bull. You're killing yourself. And I say this only out of concern. I don't think anybody should be put down for their looks at all. At all. It's not about that. It's not about how you look. But I'll tell you this, as a victim of fat shaming, I couldn't walk past a mirror. All that beautiful at any size, yeah, that's great. But listen, I know what that's like to be fat. And I know what I felt like. And I don't give a shit what I espoused. I don't care what came out of my mouth. I was a victim. I'm a victim. Oh, how dare people assume I'm lazy because I'm fat. They assumed correctly. They assumed correctly. And I was lazy because I couldn't get off the couch. It was hysterical sometimes. I remember falling one time on the fucking ice. I couldn't get up. I'm like a turtle. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't get up. It's hysterical. Victim. In fact, listen, yeah, it was funny too. I'm laughing. I'm laughing at myself. You broke me. Yeah, Walter Brooke character. It's Harvey Korman. But yeah, I do. And I look at fat people and I do assume you're lazy. You're lazy. Oh, yeah, I work hard. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't work hard because I know it's a trial for you just to get up out of your chair and walk to the car so you can go to KFC. Who are you kidding? I got to stop cursing. He bleeps it out. And you're not a victim. You're not a victim because people call you lazy. You know why it bothers you to be called lazy? Because it sucks to be lazy. And because that's the truth. And because you're not doing anything about your problem. You just want to sit back and, oh, yeah. It should be okay to be, it is okay to be fat, but then deal with the consequences. It's another thing. You're not a victim. You make this decision every day. Every day I woke up, I made the decision to be fat. I did. And how do I know this? Because I kept eating improperly. I refused to exercise. I made excuses for myself, and I remained a victim. And that's what this one's about, right? Is victim, being a victim. And it comes in so many different forms. And accountability, that was the first one we did in this particular series. And until I became accountable and got rid of that victim status and realized that I was in control of my own destiny. There's two things you can control in life. Only two things. And that is your effort and your attitude, right? My boy, Viktor Frankl, I love him. God rest in peace, right? Viktor Frankl said, he said, people can do whatever to you. The one thing that can never be stripped from a human, right? Your humanity comes down to your ability to react. What is your reaction to a given situation? Nobody can take that away from you. They can't take it away from you. How you react to it inside, right? I can be a victim. I can succumb to victimhood and all that other crap and live this mediocre, humdrum bullshit life because I'm too afraid to step out of that and do something about it. Oh, it's not my fault. Oh, I love that one. Oh, that was me, boy. You know, and we talked about it in the last one. Oh, yeah. Keep waiting for somebody else out there, again, out there in the ether to do something somewhere so that my life is better. You know, I can't fill out job application. I don't have a computer. I'll go to the library. I don't have a library card. Well, they give them away for free. Well, there's a lot of homeless people there and they stink. Well, you stink too because you haven't bathed in 2 weeks, you know? The only difference between you and them is that your mother lets you sleep on the freaking couch or in the basement, right? Go fill out the application. We all have a story, and life can be very difficult. I think life is great, personally, with bad times interwoven in there, right? Because there's bad moments in life. It happens. People die. People get sick. You know, things change. You lose lovers. You lose whatever. Like these things happen in life. But to me, life isn't something to be endured. Life is something to be lived. I'm not here just to survive life. Right? We wish our life away. Oh, God, I wish it was the weekend. Why? Well, because I'm so miserable in what I do during the week. Well, then change it. Yeah. Well, you don't understand. I got bills. I got this. I got that. Well, who's to blame for that? Who's to blame for you knocking some girl up when you were 22 and having to take care of this? You didn't take care of yourself. You didn't protect yourself. You didn't use protection. You had unprotected sex with somebody who you didn't even know, and now you have children that you couldn't take care of. Not that you didn't want. I'm not going to say that because I love kids, man. Having a child was the greatest thing I ever did. But you have kids with somebody you didn't know, somebody who wasn't worthy of having children with, somebody who doesn't work, doesn't supply anything, doesn't bring anything to the table. Whose fault is that? You know, how long are you going to blame your wife? How long are you going to blame your parents? How long are you going to blame society? How long are you going to blame? And that's it. And that's victimhood. And that's great, man. You want to keep that mediocre life going? You want to keep that humdrum bullshit, sit in front of the TV for 12 hours a day doing absolutely nothing, having the government fund you? Just keep being a victim. Keep saying, they owe me. You owe me. Somebody owes me. I'm owed something. Okay, here you go. Now, don't you forget to go out there that first Tuesday in November and vote, and we'll give you more. We'll give you a few dollars more. We'll give you just enough to survive, but never enough to thrive. Never enough to get ahead, just enough to eke out a living. Don't you forget to come out and vote. Don't you forget. Don't bite that hand that feeds you. That's your government. And again, my father used to tell me, he said, don't be mistaken. Republican, Democrat, all that bullshit. He said, anybody who works for the government has their hand in your pocket. And they are absolutely, absolutely dependent on your tax dollars. So when somebody comes along and says, oh, I'm going to help you here, or I'm going to lower your taxes, don't you believe it? Yeah, that's it. All they do is shift it around. They rob Peter to pay Paul. Instead of putting it in this program, we're going to put it over in this program. It happened in the 80s. I was a big Ronald Reagan fan, right? And I still admire Ronald Reagan. You know, he had an incredible journey. However, you know, I watched what happened. I watched when he said, we're going to take care of this deficit and we're going to, we're going to lower your tax. All he did was shifted it around. He upped the national debt, but he took the money. I was in the military, right? He took the money away from welfare and he put it into the military. Hey, great. I like doubled my pay. I'm cool. It's good for me. Why? Because it served me. Because again, I'm serving my country and everything like that. I had nowhere else to go. Victim. Oh, I should be getting more. Well, why? This is what I signed up for. That's a funny thing, right? I signed up for this. I knew what the pay was going in. And now I'm going to get it and complain about it. I'm a victim. No, you didn't have to join. You could have gone to college. Well, I couldn't do that because I was a up and I didn't get good grades. Like, you see, but it's me. But no. I was a victim. You see, I had such a tough life at home. You don't understand. It was so hard for me. As if nobody from a bad home ever got good grades in high school, overcame it, got out, went to college, and became something, right? Plenty of people do. I wasn't one of them. But whose doing was that? It was me. It was me. I remember my mother telling me, oh, you're such a disappointment. You know, you were so smart. I mean, they measured me when I was a kid. My IQ was very high, whatever. And I was, yeah, but what did you do to help me? Did you ever look over my homework? Or did you ever even show? Okay. All right, she's been dead for how many years now? How long are we going to keep blaming her? How long are we going to keep blaming my father? Enough. See, but I want to keep that mediocre life going. I want to keep that victimhood. I want to keep, oh, poor me, poor me. As my first sponsor in AA used to say, right? I used to go to AA back in the day. And he used to say, oh, here it comes, poor me. And poor me. Because, yeah, you know, poor me another. Yeah. Because that was it, baby. Yeah, you have no idea how hard I have it, you know? Yeah, and get behind the wheel of a car. Wonderful. Yeah, make somebody else's life hard, right? Create a true victim when you smash into somebody head on because you were taking care of yourself in the bar. Listen, it's a great way to live a mediocre life. And what we do here is we are all about here at this particular channel about breaking that cycle of mediocrity. And that's what it is. It is just a perpetual cycle. And I always say, if you're a victim, you teach your children victimhood, right? If you're a single mother and you got 4 kids by 3 different men and they're all pieces of shit, right? And instead of saying, you know, mommy really screwed up and had unprotected sex with guys who weren't fit to father dogs, let alone human beings, right? Instead of taking that accountability and teaching your children right from wrong, no, you sit there and go, your father's a piece of shit. It's because of him that we don't have food. It's got nothing to do with my crack habit. It's got nothing to do with the fact that I'm smoking a pack and a half of cigarettes a day at $10 or $12 a pack. No. This is your father's fault. We are victims. And you're teaching your kid to be a victim right along with you. Knock it off. And that brings you to the other channel, too. I should plug that, right? Because it's Trash TV Review. It's a great segue, right? Where we review like the Maury Show and Wilkos and all of these people who live that life, who are those, and you can hear it in all of them, right? And over there, I like to say one of the, and I say it here too, is, you know, they say live and learn. And most people, they just live. There's no learning. There's no learning curve. Learning the hard way. And that's it, is to be able to learn from other people's mistakes. And that's what we do over at Trash TV Review. I mean, we do it with comedy and stuff like that, and we review these things, and we talk about these people, men and women, white, black. Like, you want to understand how absolutely similar everybody is. I don't care what your race, what your preference, everything. Watch Maury, and that'll show you. There's no difference. The vernacular may be a little bit different, but the actions are the same. Right? Women who think they're in love with men who think they're just having sex. Doesn't matter. White, black, I don't get Hispanic, Asian, like it's all the same on Maury, you know, and it really is something that can bring us together. But the best lesson you can learn, if you can learn it, right, is to learn from other people's mistakes, to watch them go through it and go, and say to yourself, I don't want, because those are the most successful people in the world, are the people who can look at that, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong. You have to fail in order to succeed. I believe in that. But to be able to look at this and say, okay, here's this young girl. She's, you know, and I've seen this a million times on Maury, and you can check it out on the other channel. Here's this girl, 19 years old. She's got 3 children by 3 different men who she swore loved her. And how does she swear that? Well, she knew them all for 2 months before she had a baby with them, before she got pregnant. She had the first one at 16, the next one at 18, and the next one at 19 or 20, however old she is, right? And each of these men professed their love. Each of these men said they were different than the guy before, and each of them lied. Or maybe in that moment they were telling, guys will tell you some real weird truths in that moment, if you know what I mean. In order to get into the panties, a guy will tell you just about anything you need to hear, and he'll figure out what you need to hear by what your track record is. You got 2 kids by 2 different men and you believed that bullshit before. He's got every reason to believe you're going to believe it again. You know? And maybe if you're out there and you're a young lady and you're 16, 17, you're watching this stuff, you can learn by watching us and tell you, look, watch this. He's lying to you. You know, it's okay to ask certain questions. Don't be a victim of your own ignorance. Don't be a victim at all. Once you lose that victim status, you begin to become accountable for your actions, and you decide that you want to move outside of that comfort zone. And there's the first 3 episodes that we have encapsulated in that one statement. And it's true. Stop being a victim. Become accountable for your life and get out of that comfort zone. And you can lead a better life. I promise you, you can lead a better life. You can do more than you know you're capable of. But you have to move outside of that comfort zone. Get beyond that fear. Stop being a victim if you want to get ahead. If you don't, continue with your, you don't understand. Go ahead. And you can tell me that. You don't understand. This is what happened to me. Blah, 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 blah. Because that's what it all sounds like to me, by the way. Blah, 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 blah. Because I wrote all that, by the way. You know, and my father, I took me, and my brother beat me, and my father and mother alcoholics, and they gambled, and then the kids died, and my 2 divorces, and yeah, blah, 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 blah. Stop it. All right. Anyway, my name is Dwight Gillespie. I want to wish you a great week. Be well. My heart's with you. By all means, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe, leave comments, all that good stuff. Tell me how wrong I am. I love to hear how wrong I am. And it doesn't happen often. You know how many people, if they know me and hate me, they just roll their eyes. He's wrong all the time. And that's good too. I love that. I may be but I'm not a victim. Be well, everybody. Peace.